to bring you the bad news, but institutions are selling Bitcoin right now. And of course, we are going to look at the current price action, because when are we finally going to break out of this very small trading range that we are in? That and more in today's episode. So guys, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Without further ado, let's start diving in. And I first want to look at this very tight trading range that we are in since, well, this weekend pretty much. It is, what, 2.5–3%. There's not a whole lot going on. There's, yeah, you could take a few scalps here and there, but yeah, it's not really super clean and super nice. Personally, I would prefer first a move down before we are reversing to the upside, and I'm going to show you why. You see all these yellow lines here. This is every time a ever so slightly higher low, and it almost looks like price is doing one of these where eventually we're going to blast off. That is not uncommon, but yeah, the market is designed to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people the most amount of time. In other words, if you are a noob with $100 on your account, you could pretty much long every bottom here, put your stop loss underneath 100x long, and you would still not be liquidated. And that, of course, yeah, is a little bit against the principle of the market just wants to wreck the most amount of people. Therefore, I would like to see a move down first to take out all of these lows. Do something like this, get back into the range, and then to go higher. So a nice deviation at the bottom, that will be great. Or even go a little bit lower here to 82,000. We have a point of control of this last move up, and you can see we have quite some volume there. So 82,000 would be a very nice long trade for me. I will definitely be on the lookout to take that trade. However, the front running of the levels is something that we have seen a lot in the last couple of weeks. It is absolutely insane, and also on the most crucial levels. So I need to keep in mind that although I like to see lower first, we might just suddenly blast off. I'm going to show you a few examples here. I mean, look at this absolutely crucial low that we put in quite recently, and you can see here this is the low, and then you can see here that this low is ever so slightly front running this low. So we do not see a liquidation of the early longers. No, we are front running the level, and then we are going. Then here, exhibit B. Look at this. You're having your low that's being created here, and then you can see you have a couple lows front running again that first initial low that's being made, and then on the third attempt, of course, we're just blasting through, and yeah, we're just liquidating everyone there. But yeah, it is the same kind of story. And then here on top, last thing I want to show you, look at this. These two highs right here are an absolute perfect equal high to the exact damn dollar, and of course they are front running this high right here. So also here, no liquidation event to the upside to get rid of the early shorters and then to go lower. So no clear SFP. And then yeah, usually if you're front running a level a couple times for BTC, eventually when you're going to revisit it, you're just going to blast through. So that is again what I'm hoping for right now. If that doesn't happen and we're going higher, I will try to long it. It will be something very locally, for example, a bounce of VWAP, maybe just a simple market structure flip where we are just flipping then on a smaller time frame from lower lows and lower highs into higher lows and higher highs. So something like that could be an option. For now, the best thing that you can do in this range is not to overtrade it. That is so important. Everyone always trying to catch every move to the upside, to the downside. These very small ranges is the time where you're getting absolutely slaughtered on fees, and people just constantly thinking, I do not want to miss the big move to the upside, big move to the downside. I need to get long, need to get short. So I would say wait until one side is taken out and then trade it towards the other side. Good example is the liquidation chart that we're seeing here. This is from the last 24 hours. And you can see this thick yellow, those are then high liquidations. We are building up some liquidity here on the bottom, and we are building up some liquidity here on the top at approximately 85-ish all the way up to 86, and then here at the bottom we have some 83, 84, 83,000 here again. So you can see that the liquidations are being built up from both sides. Therefore I would say sit on your hands, wait it out, wait until we first see a move to the upside or to the downside, then liquidity is taken, and then reverse it and trade it towards the other side, whatever comes first. At least that is what I'm doing, so I'm just staying very cautious and I'm not rushing into any trades. Now, let's now look at the whole shebang about the institutions, because this is quite worrisome. If we're looking here on the website DeFi Llama, there you can see that we have in the last month a few crucial dates where we see a huge outflow of USD on the big Binance exchange. Here on 18th of March, almost 7 billion, then suddenly 1st of April, almost 5 billion. And in the last couple of days, it's kind of ramping up. You can see here 3 billion. This was not as big, slightly less of a 1 billion, and today so far is 3.3 billion. This is an outflow, not so good. If we're then looking on the outflow of the ETF, this actually also doesn't look all too good. You can see here the red is just an outflow every day. This can have two reasons. First of all, you could say, yeah, but wait a minute, we just had the whole dump in the market and the stock market and everything. So this was just risk off. People are getting out of the ETF and therefore just selling off because Bitcoin is seen as very risky. We're first dumping the most risky assets, that is crypto, therefore it's selling off. So that is then approximately from the 1st of April until the 10th of April. If I'm quickly going to one of my S&P charts, you can see here that is approximately this area right here. Yes, you could say this is risk off, but wait a minute. Isn't it usually institutions who are the smart money? Isn't it always the institutions who are buying the dip? So with that in hindsight, you could think it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that institutions would be selling here at the bottom. The second thing could be, and this is also pretty worrisome, is that they want to clean the books. Now, if this drop, what you're seeing right here, this outflow day after day after day after day, would have happened at the end of March, and you see an inflow again at the beginning of April, for me that would make a lot of sense, because institutions, companies, huge holders, they might want to clear the books at the end of the quarter so that they can give the quarterly results, and that's something like a high risk assets like Bitcoin does not take a huge part of the total portfolio on their balance sheet, right? So maybe they are extra exposed on BTC for a quarter, and then they said, okay, let's lower that a little bit so we have clean books on the quarterly or monthly result, and then eventually we're going risk on again at the beginning of the quarter or the beginning of the month. This is the beginning of the quarter, and this is the beginning of the month, beginning of April, and we're seeing a net outflow. So however you're going to look at it, as in, hey, institution want to clear books, or are we seeing some panic selling here at the bottom, it is not pretty, and this actually is a little bit worrisome, and therefore I'm thinking maybe we need to see a little bit of a move down on BTC before we go higher. However, this does not change my macro view, and that I'm extremely bullish for the next couple of weeks. Why am I saying that? I made a video here, massive pump on Bitcoin, has not really picked up yet, but I have a whole list of reasons with so many data points why I am thinking that in the next couple weeks we can see a major pump on BTC. And one of the reasons is actually that Mark Cipher B on the weekly looks very good as long as we get a green dot. I hope that is loading right now so I can show you what I mean. There's still so many more reasons that I mentioned there, and the way that the bottom is structured and everything, it looks actually super good. But I think we can still maybe see a little bit more downwards action before we seeing a big rise up. So for now, the institutions worries me a little bit, but actually I hope that this is just picking up fast again, and then eventually we can go higher. My computer is not completely working along here. Okay, so we have to look at that another time. Please watch the video, it will explain everything by itself. For now I'm hoping slightly lower, maybe the institutions will bring us a little bit lower, and then eventually I hope that we can go higher again. If you want to see my macro thesis for next couple weeks and why I am so extremely bullish on BTC, please watch that video. Also make sure that it just pops out right now. It's very easy for you guys to do. And also please guys, again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it, and also leave me a comment or just share this video with your friends. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.